Tia Bumgarner. You're watching Blue Bud Sports TV. Wow.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Bud Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, once beaten British heavyweight boxing contender Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte will be making his ring return after all the turmoil and controversy surrounding him regarding the failed quote-unquote UCOD test. Allegedly, December 17th, he was notified. He fought Oscar Rivas, who was an undefeated Colombian heavyweight contender at the time, on July 20th. He was notified on July 17th. With that said, Dillian Whyte is doing interviews, and obviously people are going to ask him about the failed test. They're going to ask him when is he going to have clarification with the B sample. They're going to ask him these things, right? And Dillian Whyte has stated that he's not going to answer any of those questions. With that said, he did say something that jumped right out at me. He said, Luis King Kong Ortiz, who just lost 2 Saturdays ago to Olympic bronze medalist, undefeated WBC American heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, is not a good fighter. You heard it. He said King Kong Ortiz is not a good fighter. So I had to go in soldier mode to defend this and say Luis King Kong Ortiz is not a good fighter? Huh? He offered to fight you multiple times. Dillian Whyte stated that Luis Ortiz is not a better fighter than Joseph Parker. Luis Ortiz is not a better fighter than Derek Chisora. Well, Dillian Whyte, why don't you fight him? Immediately following this fight with Maurice Watt this Saturday on the undercard, why don't you push for that fight then? You saying who's on his resume? Who's on his resume? Not you. Why aren't you on his resume? Right? Why isn't Anthony Joshua on his resume? Why isn't Joseph Parker on his resume? Why isn't Derek Chisora on his resume? Why isn't any of you guys outside of Deontay Wilder on Luis King Kong Ortiz resume? Why? Because you have no intention of fighting him. So how dare you say that he's not a good fighter, and what has he done? The only person on his resume is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Unbelievable. How dare you, Dillian Whyte? Now let me get back into calm mode for a second. Dillian Whyte, you had your opportunity to face Luis King Kong Ortiz. You had your opportunity to face undefeated Olympic bronze medalist, WBC American heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. You opted to go in a different direction. This is what you chose to do. Yes, you faced Anthony Joshua. Yes, you lost to Anthony Joshua. But also, Luis Ortiz was signed to Matchroom. He signed to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn with the hopes of landing an Anthony Joshua fight. Ortiz offered to fight you back in July instead of you fighting Oscar Rivas. And what did you say, Dillian Whyte? What did you say when Luis Ortiz said he offered to fight you, right? What did you have to say? Dillian Whyte, what did you have to say? Hey, Blue, I'll tell you what he had to say. He said, no, he wasn't with that. He said, listen, I'll fight Luis Ortiz anytime, any place, right? But then he opted not to do so. What he did was, right, he said that, listen, I'll fight you anytime, any place. Just send the contract. Ortiz said, send the contract, and Dillian Whyte said, no, right? You chose to go in a different direction. You chose to go in the direction of Oscar Rivas. When Luis Ortiz said to you, listen, I'll be your huckleberry. When you couldn't get the fight and land the fight with Anthony Joshua, you opted to go the route of Oscar Rivas. No slight to Oscar Rivas, but you could have went the route of Luis King Kong Ortiz. He offered to fight you. And Deontay Wilder said, listen, if you fight Luis King Kong Ortiz and you be victorious against him, I guarantee you an opportunity to fight me. And Deontay Wilder was a man of his word, because guess what happened? He fought Luis King Kong Ortiz anyway after you opted not to fight him, right? You opted not to fight him, so he fought Ortiz anyway. You could have fought Luis King Kong Ortiz and then got the victory, and then you would have been fighting Deontay Wilder. But you chose to go in a different direction. That's what he chose to do. Right. You understand. So you had the opportunity to land the Deontay Wilder fight. You had the opportunity to land the Luis Ortiz fight and prove that he wasn't a good fighter. Joseph Parker is a better fighter than Luis Ortiz. I highly doubt that if you do a poll, Joseph Parker would be rated higher than Luis Ortiz. And Dillian Whyte doesn't believe that. You believe that Derek Chisora is a better fighter than Luis Ortiz? Why? Because it's your countryman? So this is what I look at. You're saying that all due to the fact that you fought Derek Chisora, you went tooth and nail, you arguably lost the first fight, you was losing the second fight until you caught him with a beautiful combination, might I add, and knocked him out. Kudos to you. And Joseph Parker, you nearly lost to. So you're using this to validate your fight and your resume. That's what you're doing, Dillian Whyte. And then Dillian Whyte goes on to say that he doesn't understand why these fighters get so much disdain towards one another. Well, and then he goes on to say he don't have a problem with Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua outside the ring. He has a problem for what they did to him in the ring. Well, what did Anthony Joshua do to you in the ring? What did Deontay Wilder do to you in the ring? They did absolutely nothing. What did they do to you, Dillian Whyte? What did Anthony Joshua do to you? What did Deontay Wilder do to you in the ring? I tell you what they did, boo. Anthony Joshua knocked him out in the 7th round. And he knows Deontay Wilder's going to knock him out early in the 7th round. Right? They didn't hold him out. They didn't freeze him out. Anthony Joshua gave him an opportunity, then offered to give him a second opportunity. Right? Deontay Wilder gave him the road to him, and he chose to go a different direction. That's what they did to him. That's what they did. That's the only thing they did to him. What else did they do to him? Yeah, you're exactly right, man. Because I can't really find or figure out anything Deontay Wilder did to him in the ring, because they never even squared off in the ring. And Anthony Joshua, when they squared off, and Joshua did give him his opportunity, because Joshua was the highly sought out prospect over Dillian Whyte. He was more blue chip than Dillian Whyte, so he was the A side going into the fight, and so he gave him his opportunity, and then he knocked him out. You know, so when it comes to Deontay Wilder, they never even stepped foot in the ring. So how could Deontay Wilder do anything to you in the ring? He did nothing to you in the ring. And for you to say, or nobody would favor Joseph Parker or Derek Chisora over Luis Ortiz. Only Dillian Whyte is saying this to justify his stance. That's the only reason you're saying this. By no stretch of the imagination is Derek Chisora, and I love Derek Chisora. I love his attitude. I love his approach to the sport of boxing. But there's no way Derek Chisora beats Luis King Kong Ortiz. And Joseph Parker wouldn't even engage. He lost, arguably, to Andy Ruiz Jr., right? And got a gift. And when it comes to Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker would get vastly outclassed against Ortiz in a boxing match. Point blank and period. Dillian Whyte knows this. Dillian Whyte is trying to discredit Luis Ortiz because he don't want to face Luis Ortiz himself. He don't want to get in the ring with Luis Ortiz. He'll say anything and do anything to avoid fighting Luis King Kong Ortiz. So how dare you try to discredit Deontay Wilder by discrediting Luis Ortiz, and you refuse to get in the ring with him? That's utterly ridiculous. And since you said you're free after this fight, you said you're fighting on the British Boxing Board, you know, so you're not suspended. So then, how about this, Dillian Whyte? How about we push for you to fight Luis Ortiz next? Ortiz will be available, right? You're not going to fight Deontay Wilder until at least 2020, right? That's your cry to the WBC, because they replaced you with Tyson Fury as the mandatory. So Tyson Fury is the mandatory for 2020. He don't have to satisfy another mandatory in 2020. So you're not available for Deontay Wilder till February of 2021. So with that said, you are available for any other opponent. We know Joshua not going, should he be victorious, he's not going to go in the direction of fighting you. He's going to go in the direction of satisfying his own mandatory, which would be CUBAN for the IBF. Right? So that means after this fight with Maurice Watt this Saturday, you yourself, Dillian Whyte, you're fighting on Anthony Joshua undercard against Maurice Watt, right? Because you just want to get in the ring and stay active and you feel like you've been done so wrong. So how about this, Dillian Whyte? You on a fight-by-fight basis with Matchroom and DAZN, right? They don't even pick up all your fights. DAZN don't pick up all the Dillian Whyte fights. So you on a fight-by-fight basis with Matchroom and DAZN. So here's the thing. Why don't you do this? I got a scenario. I got a solution for this entire situation. Oh, here we go. Let's satisfy it, right? This is what we could do. Dillian Whyte, you're available. You're fighting on the undercard of Anthony Joshua, who beat you, who's your rival, but it's your countryman, so you're going to side with him. You're going to show him love, and that's understandable, right? But you're fighting not even at the co-main event, right? Because the co-main event is Michael Hunter and Alexander Povetkin. So here's the thing, Dillian Whyte. After you fight Maurice Wack in December, Deontay Wilder only fought 2 weeks ago. So he'll be fighting February 22nd against Tyson Fury. Guess what? Why don't we just bolster that undercard? Shall we? Let me give you a scenario and a solution. How about we just bolster that undercard? How about we put Dillian Whyte versus Luis King Kong Ortiz as the co-main event on the undercard of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? There should be no reason for you to turn that down, right? That would be a mega card for you, Dillian Whyte. That would be a mega card for you, Dillian Whyte. And it would be your first fight here in Las Vegas, in the States. So you get the chance to make a statement on the same undercard as Deontay Wilder. You get a chance to be in the presence of Deontay Wilder. You get a chance to tell everybody that would listen that Deontay Wilder is avoiding you. He's not looking to fight you. Right? Because you'll be on every press conference that Deontay Wilder's on. You'll be on the same weigh-in, the same Deontay Wilder. You're going to win. You're going to be in the same arena. You get to showcase your talents against the last guy Deontay Wilder just fought and drastically knocked out in the 7th round. You get to make your own statement against Luis King Kong Ortiz on the very same undercard as Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. So how about it? They go to solution right there. They go to solution right there. I got the solution for you. I got the solution for you. Fight Luis King Kong Ortiz as the co-main event on February 22nd on Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury undercard, which is a huge rematch. And the whole world going to be watching. So you get a chance twice for the whole world to be watching you. Because the whole world going to be watching you on December 7th in Saudi Arabia on the undercard Joshua and Ruiz. Right? But you ain't even going to be the co-main event. You're going to be the co-main event. You're the co-main event to the co-main event. So how about this? You fight, now the whole world going to see you on that card, on DAZN. But you're on a fight-by-fight basis with DAZN and Matchroom, right? So you can fight anywhere your next fight. So how about it? Go fight, go with ESPN or go with the PBC for a one fight deal, right? One fight deal. It could get done. One fight deal with PBC. To face Luis King Kong Ortiz as a co-main event, and you can make a statement against the last guy Deontay Wilder just fought, and arguably was losing every round. According to the judges, he only won 1 out of 6 rounds. He was down 5 rounds to 1. So he was losing that fight and got one punch, like you said, but Ortiz was nobody. So you expected him to fold after he got hit with that one punch, is what you said, Dillian Whyte. That's what you said. So how about it? So you get a chance to beat Luis King Kong Ortiz from pillar to post and make a statement on the very same night Deontay Wilder fight Tyson Fury. And if Deontay Wilder is victorious, guess what? You could be in the crowd, Dillian Whyte. You can make your presence felt. You could rile up the crowd. Tell them, listen, this man refused to fight me. You see what I just did to the last guy he just fought? Pull a Clubber Lang, Dillian Whyte. I've been mandatory #1 for all these years, and he been ducking me. Won't you tell the world that? Do it. Do it. Do it. It gives you enough time. It gives you 3 months to prepare. Yeah, I don't expect you to struggle with Maurice Wack. This is the first week in December. So you still have all of December, all of January, and nearly all of February to prepare for Luis Ortiz. It gives you nearly 3 months. You took this fight, Maurice Wack, you said in 3 weeks. 3 weeks notice, but you stay in the gym is what you said. You stay in the gym. You took the fight with Maurice Wack on a 3-week notice. So you could take Luis Ortiz, who's a nobody. You said he's not as good as Derek Chisora. You said he's not as good as Joseph Parker. So you don't need 5-6 months. You don't need a full 3-4 months to prepare for Ortiz because you're coming out of fight and you're already in shape. So all you got to do is just stay in shape. That's all you got to do. He just was in a fight 2 weeks ago. So he's already in shape. We know Deontay Wilder just fought Ortiz on the same card. Obviously, he fought Ortiz. So Ortiz can be available just like Wilder's available, right? So fight Ortiz on the undercard of Tyson Fury. There was your solution. Let's see what you got to say about that, Dillian Whyte, since he's not good. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.